For today's cup of coffee, we have a story that comes from the website How and Why's, and this is by Vicky Verma, and it's entitled CIA Project MKUltra and Black Helicopters Government Secret Programs to Track Aliens.
Oh. Okay.
And so that's some interesting stuff altogether. Is Cat wanting in already?
Yeah.
This is what we do with a large part of our day, is be dormant cats.
And now he who decided to literally go up to Squeaker and hit him, even though Squeaker's on the other side of the plants.
He who babaps everybody.
He was an asshole.
He is.
If Squeaker was
he's
just
old
doing,
man.
he who was not, or Squeaker was not doing anything.
Old man he who. Get off my lawn.
He goes on to other people's lawn to yell that.
Anyhow, and I'm going to read pretty much what Verma has said here, because it actually was very well written. I didn't notice any, major English screw-ups.
Mm-hmm.
So he writes, the presence of non-human entities on Earth has long been linked to saucer-shaped flying objects. Saucer-shaped.
Saucer-shaped. Sean Connery?
Yeah, really. I'm channeling Sean Connery. There we go. According to many believers, they are either aliens from deep space or humans from the future. For many years, thousands of people have been claiming about gray aliens, abductions, followed by military investigations that include secret officers in black attire. Author Nick Redfern of Mysterious Universe, and we've been reading some of Mr. Redfern's stories lately.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. He puts forward an important side of the abductions that is ignored by many people. After being abducted by small aliens with huge heads and dark eyes, some abductees reported being followed and spied by military personnel, black helicopters over their houses, and strange men in black suits taking pictures of them.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and my ability to read, I'm going to claim it's the kidney stone.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
There's some that I have been doing the kidney stone thing again for days.
But I'm just like, yeah, I've dealt with that before.
So
that sucks.
We're in the limestone belt, and they're quite common in this area.
I wasn't even in the limestone belt when I had mine. I was at school 2-3 towns over.
Yes, but you drink water from here, and we've got a water purification system, so I don't know.
I bought bottled water.
Well, that's true. Anyhow, according to Redfern, in numerous cases, victims are abducted again by the military. And such abductions are known as military abductions, and it's MILABs.
Uh-huh.
I'd rather say military abduction. He noted that these follow-up MILABs are done by a secret, powerful group of people in the military and the intelligence community. In other words, the people who own us all. Kids just looking at me. Kids just looking at me. All right, now the whole alien abduction scenario is parted into two opinions. Either all the abductions that happened in the past are the government-authorized human experiments to test the effect of certain medications on the human body, popularly known as Project MKUltra, or the government is trying to study the plan of gray aliens by taking follow-ups from abductees.
Did you go to another planet and get your brain completely cleaned and forgot you were part of this fucking family?
Oh, good God. I don't even want to know who he's quoting on that.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Bitch, we're Puerto Rican!
What?
The one that was like, bitch, we're Puerto Rican!
Oh, the
How
one
could you
lady?
forget that we put shit in the fucking oven?
Is she on TikTok? Is that what that is?
She's actually a Twitch streamer.
Okay. Anyhow.
Like, my sister forgot that we were Puerto Rican. So she turns on the oven, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why does it smell like burning in here? And I go in the kitchen. Oh my God! Her sister's like, what? Did you not check the oven? Why was I supposed to check the oven? Bitch, we're Puerto Rican!
They store dishes. That's all right because there's a lot of people around here
A lot
that
of
do that
Tupperware
too.
and dishes, yeah.
Butter bowls make great Tupperware.
Yeah. They do.
Anyhow, Dr. Helmut Lammer and his wife Marion wrote a book called My Labs, Military Mind Control and Alien Abduction, where he discussed how the military was involved in the alien abduction phenomenon. He said that renowned UFO researchers such as Bud Hopkins, David Jacobs, and John Mack ignored these facts, and that he does not know why. In his book, he mentioned the case of Janine Jones from New Zealand, which is the first known implant mind control case.
Implant mind control.
She did.
Like she had a chip in her
She
brain?
had an implant injected into her brain after her birth. Her biological and adopted parents had governmental and military backgrounds, respectively.
Oh, that's shady as hell.
In fact, the CIA released documents where the agency had done research on implants during MKUltra mind control projects. In this project, the CIA was planning to expand its mind control activities to humans. In other documents, the American Intelligence Agency put the victim into the possession of phytochemicals to control or discredit him or her. Can you imagine someone allowing an infant to have some kind of an implant?
That's messed up. Like, no, those people need to be burned at the stake or something. They really
I think
do.
so. Well, that's just like there's information that came out last week and was so vile, I don't even want to discuss it.
Why bring it up?
Because there's other people, they can do their own research on some of these things.
Okay.
And it's like a matter of trying to make chimeras and humanized mice.
Well, mice are already very intelligent.
Yes, but they don't have human scalps sewn onto them usually.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, this stuff is real. And
Wait, if they can sew human scalps onto rats, why can't they give a skin transplant to a cat whose skull is exposed?
I don't know. Because they don't want to. It's that simple. Yeah, anyhow.
Okay.
Now, these are the same people
up.
that would implant something into an infant's brain, and you think they're worried about a cat?
Well, I'm sorry, I would be. I would rather use that technology to help the cats who are missing skin.
I mean, these people are not doing this technology to help anything or anybody. So, anyhow, Redfern
I'm ethical.
Redfern recalled the case of Calvin Parker and Charles Hickson, where the victims claimed to have been abducted by gray aliens in October of 1973 in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Interesting, their place of abduction was 8 miles from the Horn Island that was used as a testing center for both biological and chemical weapons during World War II. Moreover, Project MKUltra continued from the 1950s to the 1970s, supposedly. It supposedly ended in 1970.
I disagree that it stopped in 1970. I think they've just been more shady about it.
Yeah. So,
more secretive.
I think they just relabeled it, rebranded.
Yeah, exactly.
So, can it be possible that Parker and Hickson were taken to Horn Island for mind-altering experiments? Well, of course they were. Another famous abduction case is the case of Antonio Villas Boas, has the involvement of the military. In 1978, Bosco Nedolovic, and I had written that out phonetically and still screwed it up.
I mean, that's a really weird name anyway, so...
Well, it looks either Russian or perhaps Polish or something like that. So... It's Nedolovic.
We are mountain people.
Nedolovic.
We are southern.
Yeah, anyhow.
We cannot speak Polish or Russian.
We're doing good with names like Smith.
We barely can speak our own language.
All right, met UFO researcher Rich Reynolds and identified himself as a former CIA personnel. Bosco told him that he was involved in one of the CIA projects to destabilize prominent figures in the civil rights movement, and Vilas was another subject of the CIA's mind control program, MKUltra. He said that the CIA was trying to find out how to control and alter someone's brain using hallucinogenic substances. Oh, let me tell you something. Get somebody on meth and see how it alters their mind.
Exactly.
For real.
Get them on crack or cocaine.
Yeah, and we don't know that that stuff is not being pumped into this country to destabilize a lot of things.
We know it is.
Well, yeah. Nick
They just don't
Redfern.
want us to know.
Well, yeah. Nick Redfern discussed the abduction experiences of a woman named Allison in his book, On the Trail of Saucer Spies. I may have to get that book.
Yeah.
Which somewhat supports Bosco's story. According to Redfern, Allison had been abducted several times. She had fading memories of her abduction that included bright lights illuminating the room and small creatures taking her into a craft outside her house where she was examined. Every time it was the same until her fifth abduction. She regained her senses. Gray alien figures turned into a group of men in black, and the craft standing outside her house was an unmarked black helicopter. Allison is convinced she was used in a covert military experiment operation with manipulation drugs. There are lots of abduction cases where victims notice being spied on by MIB, men in black, and black helicopters over their houses.
Men in black.
It is obvious that either they were extraterrestrials or MKUltra. We cannot deny the abductee stories of meeting with aliens. The encounter with the so-called alien races known as reptilians and insectoids, that's where you go into the mantis people again, changed the way we considered extraterrestrials. In the 1960s, a negative attitude was built towards the space entities, and the government agencies had to find the truth. They put the abductees under constant surveillance to know more about the encounters. So that's one of the theories.
Right.
If aliens exist and they are trying to interfere in our lives, then Redfern took the side of the government to understand the nature of abductions and find a way to stop their agenda. Besides, the government's secret surveillance and gathering information from the victims shows that they were worried about national security. Now, on that last part, I call bullshit.
Yeah, that's full-on bullshit. Like, what the fuck do you mean, like, worried about national security? You're the one doing experiments on us.
Yeah.
You're the one pumping so much
Now, we
toxic chemicals
Right.
that harm us intentionally, and you're worried about government security. Yeah, because y'all don't want to get your asses exposed. That's what it is.
Well, it's just like people sit here and bitch on me because I've got a cigarette, and yet they will look up in the sky, see these chemtrails, and think nothing of it.
Exactly, and they want to say that chemtrails are conspiracy theories. No, they're proven.
All you have to do is watch the sky.
Yeah, there's a difference between water vapor and chemtrails. Chemtrails spread out. Water vapor disappears almost immediately.
Yes, because you can watch it. And the other ones, as far as the crisscrossing patterns and stuff.
Yeah, that's just to spread it more.
Well, Dane Wigington has been talking about the chemtrail thing for years.
Yeah.
And people discredit him. People that I used to have faith in have discredited him. And it's like, now I've wondered about those people if they have not been compromised.
They could be.
So some of the influencers, if you want to call them that, we don't know what side a lot of those folks are on either.
That's true.
Yeah. But as far as...
I can say a lot of them do not have any... A lot of them, meaning the smaller ones or whatever. Those don't have any connection to the government at all.
Probably not.
I can firmly say that. But, like, for example, influencers like Jeffree Star, Nikki Tutorials, Nikita Dragon, etc., etc., etc. Hell yeah, those people are more up there because they're rich.
Sure. And we don't know that they're making the money off of YouTube.
Well, they're making money off of YouTube. They're making money off of brand deals, sponsored videos.
Who's behind some of those brand deals?
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I believe that all of us are involved in this huge PSYOPs operation right now. I mean,
Absolutely, I
PSYOPs
believe that
operation.
too.
So, you know, and it's like, how much could reptilians and the insectoids be behind this stuff? And how much is it just the evil of man?
I want to say most of it is just the evil of man, because that's what I want to believe that, but
Well, and we got to realize...
we also don't know. The people think that Jeffree Star looks like a reptilian a lot of the time, but, like, usually those people that are reptilian, whatever, they grow up from money. They do. He didn't, though.
But he's wealthy.
He is wealthy now.
So,
but he
anyhow,
worked his way up to where he is.
I don't know. Some of these people, and with Project Paperclip,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that people have heard of that, or Operation Paperclip, I think it was what it was where a lot of these scientists from Germany in World War II, because you can't say certain words anymore.
Yeah, literally,
that
people
they
have
were,
to censor certain words or
that,
whatever.
Right, that they were brought to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And do I think that a lot of those experiments continued? Absolutely. So, and they also had this huge program where they were trying to, I've heard different things as far as them possibly trying to produce flying saucers,
Mm-hmm.
Time machines, different things like that. They were into some really dark magic stuff. They were into a lot of occult stuff.
Absolutely, they are.
And, we know where that comes from.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just flat out fallen angel technology. We're seeing a lot of that stuff today.
Absolutely.
So, would it surprise me that they did a lot of the things to discredit people? They do it today. We've seen it. We're seeing it day by day.
Yeah.
And when they were doing the experiments with the LSD and stuff like that, these were not willing participants. They would go and put this stuff in people's drinks. And can you imagine? I mean, I've never done this or anything like that. I was always really, really afraid of stuff like that, because once you ingest something, it's in your body till it runs its course.
Absolutely, and same for injecting.
Yeah.
Same. Ingesting, injecting, implanting, whatever.
But to have something like that put in your drink without you knowing it, and then to have your whole existence that altered.
Yeah, people get roofied all the time.
And
it's a horrifying thing.
Sure it is. That's got to be traumatic.
Got to be? Oh, yeah, it is traumatic. It's not got to be. Oh, it is traumatic.
And I have seen videos, and I can't remember her name. I'll have to look for her name, that she was a lady from Canada that had been hospitalized for depression. Mm-hmm. And they experimented on her with MKUltra. Totally messed her up. Ted Kaczynski, he was a victim of MKUltra. And anybody that's ever studied him, of course, he also had signs of schizophrenia. Mm-hmm. But he was brilliant.
Yeah.
And he had gone to college when he was still a teenager. Mm-hmm. Okay, him trying to deal with an adult world and these kids that were a lot older than he was. But they certainly did use MKUltra on him. And then if you ever read his manifesto, which he typed, there's words in there that's misspelled. Like I said, there's a lot of things that could indicate schizophrenia.
Right.
But that didn't mean he was wrong.
That's true, and that goes back into the thing, are these people who are schizophrenic or, what's the other?
There's
thing?
Lots of them.
Yeah, any of those mental illnesses, how do we know they're not on the fringe, like, between worlds?
Right, we don't know. But anyhow,
I've heard theories that dreams we're just traveling to different dimensions.
Now, I'm not saying that Kaczynski's method of trying to get his message across was the way to do things at all.
Right.
But again, by that point...
I don't know much about him or his methods, so...
By that point, I think that he was so isolated from civilization, that in itself does something to somebody's mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely it does.
But when I found out that they had used him for the MKUltra experiments, that explained a lot to me.
Right.
So as far as, secret government programs, I don't know that it's a matter of tracking aliens.
They're tracking people.
Well, they are doing that. We don't know that it's not interdimensional beings that are behind some of these technologies, which I believe. And as far as the reptilians, yes, I do believe that the reptilians, and they are not our friend.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like friends. No, they're not. They're not friend.
I think some of them can.
No, they're not
be.
friend. So, FREN. Those who know. Be my friend.
If you know, you know.
So, anyhow, let us know what you think in the comments section. If you've had experiences with supernatural or paranormal, if you've had encounters with UFOs or aliens, cryptids, the big feets, we're still waiting on the Wendigos.
I'm trying.
Okay. If you've had...
big feet.
If you know of tales from your family or your region, different legends and mythology, if you would like to share tales of kidney stones, just send us
or medical issues.
Send us an email at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. The email address is in the description box. And yeah, just pay attention and always watch your drink.
Don't get drunk.
Bye.